Hello everyone, Tawana Michelle here, mental health therapist and recovery coach. And today I am going to be talking to you guys about the female narcissist. Now, I know that when I speak of the narcissist and I give examples, I typically say he. And I'm always pointing out that I know that there are female narcissists as well. I just say he because most of the time I'm coming from experience and most, but not all of my experience with narcissists have been with men. So today I do want to talk about the female narcissist because some of the behaviors might be a little bit different. You're going to have all of the same basic narcissistic traits such as grandiosity, lack of empathy, sense of entitlement and self-importance and feelings of superiority and lack of accountability and all that stuff. But I'm just going to tell you a little bit about how each of those things or some of those things, what it may look like when you're dealing with a female narcissist and some of the main characteristics that you will find when you're dealing with a female narcissist. So one of the very first things you're going to notice right off the bat when you're dealing with a female narcissist is that she is going to be pretty obsessed with her physical appearance, how she looks. And, the narcissist always sees themselves as perfect anyway, but we know that's something they created so that they can feel better about themselves. But at their core, the narcissist is very insecure with who they are. So they created this false self to make them feel like they are these perfect, superior people. So on the surface, the female narcissist is going to appear like overly confident, and she's going to think that she's very beautiful, but she's going to always be doing more to achieve more beauty. She may be obsessed with dieting, she may be obsessed with working out, she may be getting cosmetic surgeries done to her body. Her hair has to be perfect, makeup, everything. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, all women are kind of like really concerned about how they look. Not all women are concerned about how they look. Many women are, probably most women. But with the female narcissist, you're going to be dealing with this on more of an obsessive nature, and nothing is ever going to be enough. So she's going to be overly preoccupied with her physical appearance, what she looks like, has to look the best, especially when she's in a group of women. Even if she's with her man, like he better not be looking better than her that night. Like she has to outdo everybody when it comes to physical appearance. One of the second characteristics of the female narcissist is that she is going to be very entitled. So we know that all narcissists are entitled. They think that they just deserve everything. They deserve the world. The female narcissist entitlement is going to look more like a sense of entitlement to money, wealth, material things, especially in a relationship with a man. So you may think of like your typical gold digger as the female narcissist who is entitled. Now, again, it's one of those things, women some women, I'm going to say, like to be taken care of by their man. So some of these female narcissistic traits are like traits that women may have in general, but it's going to be more exaggerated. And again, it's entitlement. So if you are dealing with a woman who likes nice things and would like to be with a man who buys her nice things, that's not the same as feeling like I'm entitled to this. I deserve this. You have to do this for me. So that's kind of one of the differences. And that's how the female narcissist looks at entitlement, especially when it comes to material things. And one of the third traits of the female narcissist is that she requires a lot of attention, a lot of time. If you're in a relationship with a female narcissist, she wants you to spend all of your time with her. She wants you to constantly shower her with attention and with affection. And because she always needs attention, she always has to have supply, right? Someone who is feeding the ego. So because of that, the female narcissist is going to be very flirty in order to get that attention. And it doesn't matter if they like you in that way. It doesn't have to be like someone that they have a romantic interest in. They are just going to be extra flirty so that you can flirt back and they can get their needs met. They can get that attention. They can get that supply that they need. Another thing you will find about the female narcissist is that she has no accountability for anything that she does wrong. It's never her fault. It's always your fault. And this is not very different from your male narcissist in that regard. It's the lack of accountability. It's not being able to take responsibility for their own wrongdoings, for their own inappropriate behaviors, blaming everyone else, and not being able to not only acknowledge that they've done something wrong, not being willing to do anything about it. And the fifth trait of the female narcissist, and this is again typical of any narcissist, is that she's going to lack empathy. So she can do things that are harmful to you, and she won't feel bad about it. She can be abusive to you. She won't feel bad about it. Your feelings do not matter. So I mentioned how she's always flirting and she has to have attention all the time. And it doesn't have to be romantic interest, but sometimes it will be a romantic interest, and sometimes she will take it so far as to actually cheat on her partner because she wants that extra supply, and because she sees again the entitlements. There's another person who can possibly give her more of the material things that she's wanting. And so when the female narcissist has betrayed you and she's been unfaithful to you and she has been disloyal to you, she won't feel bad about it. And again, she is not going to take responsibility. She's going to make it your fault somehow. You pushed her to do that. You didn't give her what she wanted. You said no. You better not say no, right? Back to that entitlement. And she'll even abuse you mentally and emotionally as she's blaming you. And she'll say things about you, like maybe, you're no good in bed. You don't please me sexually, so I had to go somewhere else. Now, I'm not saying having that conversation alone would be abusive, but the female narcissist intent in doing that is to abuse you. So that's a difference. It's trying to find a way to hurt you emotionally and verbally. And the sixth characteristic of the female narcissist, all narcissists, of course, they all do mostly the same thing. But the female narcissist will often use the children as pawns. Okay, the children are an extension of her. The children have to make her look good. They are another source of supply. They will be objectified in a way to make her feel better about herself. So high demands, high pressure on the children to be perfect themselves, to be beautiful. Just as she's preoccupied with her own physical appearance, the narcissistic mother of a daughter is also preoccupied with her daughter's physical appearance, and she's got to look a certain way. She's got to be beautiful. She's got to be thin. Sons have to be athletic. They have to be handsome. They all have to be really smart. They all have to be involved in tons of activities. Everyone in the community has to know that these children are doing so well and they're so-and-so's kids. They're pawns. As far as the narcissistic mother is concerned, their job is to make her look like a good mother and feel like a good mother. And she punishes them when they don't. And the main way the narcissistic mother will punish the kids is by withholding emotional affection, withholding love, which is very damaging to the children. And the seventh trait of the female narcissist is that she is so competitive. I already told you, she doesn't want anyone to look better than her, but not just about that, competitive about everything. She has to be the best at everything. And even with her man, she'll be competitive with her man, but especially with the women. The female narcissist is extremely competitive with other women. She has to outdo you in all areas. She has to look better than you physically. She has to have a bigger house than you, a better car than you, a better job than you, more money than you, better children than you do, a better husband. It's all about competing with other women. And she won't even acknowledge if she has a friend circle of women, she's competing with them. And she won't even acknowledge any of their accomplishments, anything that they do well. In fact, she'll try to find ways to make them feel worse about themselves so that she can feel better about herself, because she wants to be the one in that group that's thriving, that gets all the attention, that gets all the praise. And she's going to be extremely competitive with everything. If you ever had that friend, I've had so many people tell me this, that they've had this friend, I've experienced it too, and it's like, you feel like this is your good friend. You've been friends with them for a long time. Y'all hang out, y'all have fun, y'all tell each other things about your personal lives, feels like a good, genuine friendship in some ways. But yet every time you're successful at something or you accomplish something and you call and tell your friend who you want to share the news with, your friend never seems happy for you. Not only that, your friend might even find something negative about your situation. Your friend will find a way to bring you down when you are excited and, on top of the moon about your accomplishment. And I've had so many people ask me, is my friend a narcissist? Because I can't understand why they can't be happy for my achievements. Look, I cannot say if it's just that one thing that your friend is doing, that your friend is definitely a narcissist, but I can tell you that is a huge red flag. That is a trait of narcissism. There could be other reasons that your friend is doing that, but that is a sign of very severe jealousy. And the competition is really about that. Narcissists are extremely jealous of others. So if you have a friend that's doing that, you might want to look at other signs of this person that may indicate that you're dealing with a narcissist. And the eighth sign that you are dealing with a female narcissist is kind of related, very closely related to the last trait that I gave you. They're not going to have any real, genuine, authentic friendships. They're not capable. So anyone who is not able to have empathy for others and who cannot take responsibility for their wrongdoings, and they're extremely competitive, for one, they're going to push people away. And secondly, all of the friendships are going to be superficial, and they want it that way. The narcissist does not like to be vulnerable, and to have a true, genuine, intimate friendship with someone, you have to be willing to be vulnerable, and the narcissist is not going to do that. And the same entitled, abusive behaviors that the narcissist will have with their partner, they will also be doing very similar things in their relationships with their friends. So they are not going to have any real, genuine, authentic friendships. And the ninth trait of a female narcissist that I'm going to tell you about is that they may have very unstable emotions, especially when they are triggered or when they don't get their way. They will go into a narcissistic rage, maybe even worse than the men do. The thing is, when the female narcissist goes into a narcissistic rage, it's like it doesn't end. They are extremely emotional, extremely verbally abusive. It's a temper tantrum. So they might be yelling, they might even start crying, they might start throwing things, they're going to shoot out insults at you, they're going to go on and on and on. And the funny thing is, and one of the differences you'll see with the female narcissist versus the male narcissist, is that after they have their tantrum, they can shut it off like immediately and go right back. Well, I guess the male narcissist can too, but it just seems to happen more abruptly with the female narcissist. They'll have their tantrum, they'll have their rage, and just as easily as it came on, they will shut it off and they will go back into all their little flirty, manipulative ways to get love and attention again. So very emotionally unstable, very volatile emotional states. And the last trait of the female narcissist that I'm going to talk about, and this is one of their biggest traits, they will use extreme sexuality and seduction to manipulate. That is their primary tool. They are going to try and use sexuality, seduction. That's where the little flirtiness comes into play that I talked about. But they will take it beyond the flirtiness, as I mentioned. They will use sex to get what they want. And I'm not saying men don't do that. Y'all, all of these things that I've talked about, I'm not saying men don't do these things. What I'm saying is that these are common traits of your female narcissists, and it's one of the things that they do. Men also use sex to manipulate you. Women just seem to use this, women seem to have the ability to use this more easily in men, and they seem to use it more frequently. Men use their money, power, and their social status. Women use their sexuality and their physical appearance to try and get what they want, to manipulate. So those are the 10 traits of female narcissists that I wanted to share with y'all. Of course, that's not all of them. Let me know in the comment section down below what other female narcissistic traits that you are familiar with, that you have encountered. Also, if you have any questions for me, leave that down in the comment section below. Any ideas for future videos, leave that down below as well. And like this video if you like it, guys. Give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, go ahead. We'd love to have you here. And thank you so much for watching. You guys are so supportive. Until next time, take care. Bye.